Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well today. We are going to start talking about persuasive writing. Now, I did not put everything we've already talked about into this module because we've already introduced a lot of the aspects of persuasive writing. We've talked about the writing process, we've talked about how to brainstorm, we've talked about using persuasive language. We made advertisements for houses, we made commercials. In fact, commercials were one of the last projects we did in ESL Rigor before we all left school. So let's move forward from those activities. We're going to put all those ideas and concepts together in order to make a persuasive essay, a 5-paragraph persuasive essay. So here's our module. Module 4, persuasive writing. And our goal or our learning intention is to be able to write a 5-paragraph persuasive essay using the prompt given. So for this activity, I'm going to give you a choice, but know that if this was, we used to do this for the SOL. I think they're going to be changing it soon, but who knows when that's going to be. So some of us still might end up taking the writing version of the SOL where you're given a prompt and you have to reply to it in essay format. Before you go on, you're already on my video lesson, but watch this little persuasive writing video clip. It's just a 2-minute review of what persuasive writing is and why we use persuasive writing or why other people use persuasive writing. There's also a link to Brain Pop on the 5-paragraph essay. So if for some reason you're tired of listening to me or you didn't understand what I meant, you can go back and look at the Brain Pop video. I would recommend doing those things before you move on with your module. So now we're on the candy wrapper. I call this lesson the candy wrapper because if you look at the graphic organizer we're going to be using for writing, this right here, it kind of looks like a candy wrapper. You see? There's a candy wrapper right there. Normally when we do this in class, I try to hand out candy, do something fun. That's not going to work today. So you just get to look at a picture today. All right. Okay. The first part of our candy wrapper is the introduction, this triangle part. And this little tip of the triangle here is the transition statement. Before we move on from our introduction, we use a transition. There's more information on transitions later in the module. We have 3 body paragraphs, another transition, and then our conclusion. The conclusion should be similar to your introduction. Okay. Okay. The introduction needs an attention getter or a hook, a thesis statement, or the main idea with 3 supporting details. I know we already worked on writing thesis statements a little bit, but it's been a while, so we're going to do a little review on that today. And I don't know that everybody got to do that activity. A lot of us came later in the year, and I'm not quite sure if everyone was here for that. Before we finish our introduction, we also have to have a transition sentence or narrowing statement. Now, real quick, let's talk about what we need to do before we write our thesis. Before we write our thesis, we need to make a web. What is a web? Well, here's an example of a web. We go ahead and put our topic in the center, and then we fill in our ideas for our body paragraphs. Each square here is going to be a topic for your body paragraph. And then off of this square, you would write your supporting details. So for our purposes, you don't need to fill in all 5 of these boxes. Just 3 boxes is all we're going to use for this essay today. I will go ahead and drop a copy of this into our Teams files so you can use this at home to plan. Or if you want to just draw this out on your notebook paper, you can do that too, whatever works best. Let me show you a completed copy here. That's not the one I wanted. Recent. Here it is. Okay, so this is one I made on why reading is important. So I said that reading is important because it helps you stay informed, it's good for entertainment, and for education. And then you can see that these are going to be some supporting details. I need to add the supporting details. I didn't get that far. But here's my main idea, and then here's what I'll put in my body paragraphs. The thing is about this is you want to choose topics for your body paragraphs that are different. You don't want them to be too closely related because then it's going to sound like you really just wrote about one thing instead of 3 different topics regarding your paper. Does that make sense? I don't know if that's completely clear. How could I explain that again? All right, let's try one more time. We have our paper topic right here. This is our prompt. Reading is important. That's what we're writing about. These 3 boxes here are going to be our body paragraphs. I did not add here the supporting details for the body paragraphs. You will have to do that when you plan for your writing. And make sure that these 3 are not the same or closely related. You want to make sure you have 3 different clear ideas before you start writing. I think that's a better explanation. Let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so on day 2, now that I've planned my writing, I'm going to write my thesis statement. This is an example I wrote based on one of the prompts I gave you this week. Should middle school students have snack time? I picked this one because you guys were getting crabby before we left. I know we had a lot going on with the fire and they extended the days, but oh my goodness, everybody was crabby by the time we got to ESL rigor. Nobody wanted to be around each other. Nobody wanted to do work. And then I brought snacks. And it was like everybody changed. Everyone was a happier person when we had snacks. And if we were going to be in school longer, I was going to start snack time on the extended days. So I started thinking, maybe middle school should have snack time. Elementary has snack time. My daughter gets snack time. She likes it. Why not? So here's why I think middle schools should have snack time. Middle schools should have snack time because food helps fuel the brain. Students need a little break in the afternoon. And some students do not get dinner until late at night. Now, this is my thesis. It's 1 sentence with 3 ideas. So here's my topic for the paper. Middle schools should have snack time. And then these are my body paragraph topics. Body paragraph 1 will be on food helps fuel the brain. Body paragraph 2 is going to be on students need a little break in the afternoon. And then body paragraph 3 is some students do not get dinner until late at night. This is your map for your paper. So your body paragraphs need to follow the order of your thesis. The first idea listed in your thesis is going to be your first body paragraph. So here we go again. Let's just go through it one more time. Body paragraph 1, food helps fuel the brain. Body paragraph 2, students need a little break in the afternoon. And body paragraph 3, some students do not get dinner until late at night. So those would each be a separate paragraph, and I would write more information to support those ideas, some supporting details. We're still writing our own thesis on day 3, and we're picking one of these prompts. Should middle schools have snack time? Oh, I got a typo. I'll go back and fix that. Should schools provide students with laptops? Should schools offer more elective classes? Now, by elective classes, I mean a wider variety of classes like art, cooking, electronics, those types of things. Okay. We're on day 4. We've planned our writing. We wrote a thesis. Days 4 and 5 is the persuasive essay check-in. So you're going to need to check your email. I've sent you a form, and it's going to ask you some questions, some review questions, like how many body paragraphs should your paper have? What topic did you choose for your paper? What is your thesis? I would like to have all that information by day 5, which is going to be May 29th, Friday, May 29th. That is a little self-assessment so we can see how well you've planned for the week, how much you've accomplished, if you need any help writing a thesis. I'm going to check the thesis statements and then get back to you. Days 6 through 8 is the body paragraphs. Each body paragraph should have 5 to 6 sentences, and they should follow the order of the supporting details listed in your thesis. Okay, we talked about that. All right, here we go. Transitions. Don't forget to use transitions between your paragraphs. Here is a link to a video on transitions. It's a kind of a funny video, and I think it does a way better job of explaining why we need transitions than I would. Now, we've done our introduction, our thesis, we've written our body paragraphs, and on days 9 and 10, we're going to write our conclusion. You need to have a transition sentence there for the first part of the conclusion, and then you restate the thesis. Restate the thesis. What does that mean? Well, that means that we are going to write the same thing we did in our thesis, but we're going to change how we write it just a teeny bit. You're going to write it again. It's not a copy and paste deal. You're rewriting it a little different. If you get desperate, I mean really desperate, you can copy the thesis statement and put it back down there. But the preferred method, the right way to do it, is to restate the thesis. So you're going to put the same information, but you're going to change the wording just a smidge. And then the last thing is the closing sentence. Now, once we're done with our essays, we have a little fun thing we're going to do. Don't forget to join us on Teams June 3rd for Kahoot. It is a Kahoot reviewing the 5-paragraph essay format. I know you guys all really enjoy Kahoot, so I thought instead of sharing essays, maybe we would do a Kahoot. I think we'll get more people involved, and we could have some more fun. Now, before you turn your essay into me, check your work. Does your essay have a total of 5 paragraphs, an introduction paragraph, a thesis, 3 body paragraphs, a conclusion paragraph, and then here is going to be a link to your essay and essay rubric in Teams. Let me go find that rubric real quick here for you. I'm sorry, I don't have all this stuff 100% ready to go. This is not a professional production. This is Mrs. Coyle working. And unfortunately, these videos have become a 2-computer operation. Let's see what I got here. Here we go. Just kidding. It's not really there. Let's try again.